Hello everyone, I am Nagavelli Prasad, working in TSWR Center of Excellence, Karimnagar, as a zoology faculty. Today I am going to explain you an interesting topic, which is human respiratory system. Friends, human respiratory system consists of 7 major parts. The system helps in the process respiration, driving the air from the outside to take into the body, right, which is composed of 7 parts. The first part of human respiratory system starts with external nostrils, which are 2 outer openings by which air is driven from the environment into the body. 2 external nostrils are there. These 2 external nostrils opens into the tiny chambers known as nasal chambers. There are 2 nasal chambers separated by septum, which is called as nasal septum here. These are the 2 nasal chambers by which septum is separated these nasal chambers into 2. These nasal chambers has 3 major functions, so that the nasal chambers divides into 3 different regions based on their function. The first region of nasal chamber is known as vestibular part. The part where hair and sebaceous glands are located and whose main function is trapping the dust particles which are present in the air. If air contains dust particles which are trapped by hair and sebaceous glands, that part of nasal chamber is known as vestibular part. And then second part of nasal chamber is respiratory part. The respiratory part which helps in the conditioning the temperature of inhaled air. Why? Because air outside of the body may have different temperature to our body temperature. That should be equalized, so that inhaled air should be conditioned. So conditioning the temperature of inhaled air done by a part of nasal chamber known as respiratory part of nasal chamber. Here it is supported by 3 twisted bones known as turbinals, respiratory turbinals and respiratory concave. This helps in the conditioning the temperature of inhaled air. And third part of nasal chamber is olfactory part. As we know, nose is a sensory organ which helps in the detecting the smell. So that the part of nasal chamber lined with receptors of olfactory epithelium. So there is a receptor, smell detecting receptors present in that epithelium. Such part is known as olfactory part, which helps in the detecting smell, which contains the receptors of smell. So this is regarding nasal chambers. So here nasal chambers you can see, and in this. Then this nasal chambers opens into the third cavity known as nasopharynx. As I told you, pharynx is a common chamber between digestive and respiratory tract. Whereas the part of pharynx associated to respiratory tract known as nasopharynx, which leads to open into the fourth part is known as larynx. Larynx is made up of 9 cartilage box-like structure, which is helping in the generating the sound, hence it is called as voice box or sound box. So there are 9 cartilage bones by which larynx is made, and those are like a box like. Now you can see here there is a bluish color part you are seeing, right? So this one is a thyroid cartilage. There are 9 cartilage by which a larynx is made up of. I'll tell you first their names. The first one is a thyroid, and second one is a cricoid, third one is epiglottis. These 3 are in single. And next, corniculate, arytenoid and cuneiform cartilages are in a pair. So they are in double in number. So the totally 9 cartilage they made the larynx. They form as a box-like structure and form as a larynx. So I'll tell you, the first one is a thyroid. Here this is a bluish part, right? Below the thyroid, cricoid will be here. Below the thyroid, cricoid will be. So the dorsal side, a leaf-like. For example, see here. Just it is an illustration. So this is, you think, thyroid cartilage. Below it, cricoid will be. And dorsal side there is a leaf-like structure leaf-like cartilage that is called as epiglottis, which act as flap upon the glottis, which act as flap or lid upon the glottis. So, which otherwise called as epiglottis, lid upon the glottis. These three are in single. And then in the same way, dorsal side. This is, we are seeing the ventral side, right? This is ventral side. Dorsal side, a pair of corniculate. These are conical nodules like structures, nodule like cartilage. These are articulated to arytenoid. These are also paired. And if you see the dorsal view, so arytenoid and there are nodules like corniculate and cuneiform, pair of cuneiform. So when dorsal side, this dorsal side, these three paired one, and when dorsal side, these corniculate, arytenoid, cuneiform, and ventral side, the largest thyroid, all togetherly form as a box. Now you can see here this one. So this box-like structure is known as larynx, which helps in the generating sound. And how it can generate the sound? So there are yellow elastic fibers which connects thyroid. Front side thyroid there, right? Exactly back, in the sense dorsal side arytenoid there. So thyroid to arytenoid, there are yellow elastic fibers are connected, which are known as vocal cords, which helps in the generating sounds. And the narrow gaps between the vocal cords known as rhyma glottis. Now you can see these yellowish fibers you are seeing. So these are actually vocal cords, right? These gaps are there, na? So rhyma glottis. As we know, the strings between the gaps, when air blows, so that sound will generate. It's a common thing, right? So vocal cords are the yellow elastic fibers connects thyroid cartilage to back or dorsal side arytenoid, right? And the vocal cords between the narrow opening known as rhyma glottis. And there is an elevation upon the ventral side. Ventral part of thyroid has a prominence, an elevated prominence known as Adam's apple. Adam's apple, the elevated Adam's apple is a unique feature in the boys or gents, as we have studied, right? So, and apart from vocal cords, there are two types of vocal cords in larynx. Actually, the vocal cords which helps in the generating the sound, producing the sound known as true vocal cords, right? And apart from that, the inner lining of this larynx, voice box, has the mucous membranes which appear, which anatomically looks like vocal cords only. The folds of mucous membrane in larynx looks like vocal cords, but they are not help in the generating sound. Hence, they are called as false vocal cords. That means larynx is composed of two types of vocal cords. So true vocal cords which helps in the generating sound, and the false vocal cords which are just the foldings of mucous membrane. So which doesn't helps in the generating sound. Hence they are called as, those are false vocal cords, right? Then there is a difference between male and female regarding vocal cords. In male, these vocal cords are thick and long. This thick and long vocal cords helps in the generating sound in a low pitch. Whereas in female, these are thin and short. So they are thin and short so that they can create a high pitch voice. So because of the arrangement of and size of the vocal cords, the different sound can be made by male and female differently. This is regarding sound box, this one. Then it continues with the trachea. Trachea is already, we know it's a windpipe. It's a windpipe which is made up of C-shaped hyaline cartilage so that it won't collapse. The major difference between esophagus and windpipe is esophagus is purely made up of muscular cells so that it collapses when food enters, only it expands. It always collapses, but it won't collapse because it is made up of C-shaped hyaline cartilage, and inner lining of this cartilage is having pseudo-stratified ciliated epithelium. Pseudo-stratified ciliated epithelium is a unique feature of trachea. Then this trachea enters into thoracic cavity, when exactly middle of the thoracic cavity, it divides into two branches. That is called as bronchi. The trachea divides into two divisions known as bronchi. Left bronchi and right bronchi continuous, and each bronchi divides into primary bronchi, secondary bronchi and tertiary bronchi. And tertiary bronchi again furtherly divides into primary bronchioles, secondary bronchioles and tertiary bronchioles. These tertiary bronchioles terminates with alveolar duct. Each alveolar duct terminates with alveolar sac in the lungs. So it looks like, for example, this is trachea. So trachea divides into primary bronchi. So two major bronchi. So primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, right? And tertiary bronchi, primary bronchioles, tertiary bronchioles, so secondary bronchioles, tertiary bronchioles. And these opens into alveolar duct and alveoli. So it looks like inverted tree-like structure. So now you can see here. So each divides into primary, primary divides into secondary, secondary divides into tertiary. So this is regarding bronchi and bronchioles. And finally lungs. A pair of lungs occupied in the chest cavity, which are surrounded by two membranes known as pleura membranes. Outer pleura is associated with the thoracic cavity lining, and inner pleura is associated with or attached to the surface of the lungs. So these two pleural membranes is filled with a fluid known as pleural fluid, which helps in the protection of lungs from the external pressure and force applied if applies. So lungs will be protected by these membranes and fluid. And these two lungs, the pair of lungs are present in the airtight chamber. This is airtight chamber. This airtight chamber is made up of dorsal side vertebral column and ventral side sternum and lateral sides ribs. So these all, and even lower side diaphragm, these all creates airtight chamber, so that the expansion and contraction of airtight chambers allows lungs to expand and contract. So this is regarding human respiratory system. Thank you.